Welcome and thank you for watching this video. Seriously, I first want to acknowledge you for taking one small step towards achieving permanent health and wellness. As the old Chinese proverb goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, and you just took that first step on your journey to health and wellness. Watching this video may be one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life if you just stick around to the end. But first, let's make sure you're in the right spot. If any of the following are true, then you probably are in the right spot. You've tried dieting and have failed. Maybe a few times. You don't want to spend hours in the gym or doing cardio. You're tired of fads and just want to know what works for permanent change. And you don't want to spend tons of money on programs and supplements just to not know what to do after you're out of those. So let's get going. We've got a ton to talk about. So why do most diets fail? Well, we've all heard the saying, eat less and exercise more. Heck, even doctors are still towing the line, although it's getting a bit better out there, which is great. Well, if it was that simple, we wouldn't have an epidemic on our hands. And frankly, it kind of pisses me off when I hear just eat less and exercise more. Why does this piss me off? Well, during my undergraduate studies at studying biology and chemistry at the University of Illinois, I came to appreciate how amazingly complex and beautiful our bodies truly are. But I also learned that our bodies are incredibly resilient. All our body wants to do is survive. Now, paradoxically, the same mechanisms that allow us to survive in times of stress, like lack of food, are actually being perverted and distorted today, which is resulting in the epidemic we're facing today. Again, your body wants to be healthy, and it can be, if you understand some of the underlying principles that govern health and start making the right steps today. Your body will actually start to repair itself. So to distill something as complex as obesity and all of the contributing factors to something as simple as eat less and exercise more, well, I just don't think it's fair. It's a cop-out, and it's for those that don't really understand and aren't educated on the topic. Okay, I'm off my soapbox, so let's go. Back to eating less and exercising more. You see, that's where 95% of the programs out there stop, and that's why so many fail to get long, lasting, and permanent results. You see, while moving and exercising are hugely important, it's not the whole story. And if you've tried to exercise more and eat less only to lose a bit of weight and then gain it back, you might be missing two critical pieces to the story. Stick around for a bit and we'll show you exactly what those are and how they may be what's holding you back. But first, I want to spend a bit of time talking about where we're at today. And where is that? Well, according to the CDC, adult obesity is at 35%. Childhood obesity, 17%. We have increasing cancer rates at record highs. We have record high type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart attacks, blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, sleep apnea. Truthfully, the list goes on, and I could have mentioned a lot more of these, but I want to move on. I think you get the point. The data is very clear and objectively shows that as rates of obesity increase, so do all of the rates of these various diseases. But here is the good news, and we already said it. Your body is incredibly resilient and it wants to be healthy. So what can you do? Well, it really comes down to taking a balanced and holistic approach to your health and wellness. I'm going to use a simple metaphor here to describe health and wellness, kind of like sitting on a stool. Stick with me here because this isn't some fluffy hemp-soaked rah-rah message. Remember, I have a scientific background and everything I'm going to talk about is validated by many scientific studies. Let me start by asking you how well you could balance on a one-legged stool. How about a two-legged stool? The answer is that it would be really tough. Even if you could balance on a single-legged stool, I could easily push you off. Same thing with a two-legged stool. You see, eating and exercise are each like one leg of the health and wellness stool. Each is hugely important part of achieving your goals of health and wellness. But again, if you're focused on just nutrition and just exercise, you're effectively trying to balance on a two-legged stool. Can you balance on a two-legged stool? I probably could, but not for long. So, can you balance on a two-legged stool? Sure you can, but what happens if you take one of those legs away? Let's say an injury so you can't exercise anymore, or maybe you fall off the wagon from your diet. Now you're back to one-legged stool and again, you're unbalanced so you fall off. And this is why so many programs fail. They expect you to balance on a two-legged stool, exercise more and eat less. Hopefully at this point you're asking yourself, okay, I got it. What are the other two legs of the stool then? Well, we're glad you asked because that's where we're going to turn our attention to now. The third leg of the stool is stress. Yep, we like to think that stress is purely a mental thing and that we can manage it. The fact is, stress is every bit as physical as it is emotional. Dr. Catherine Puckett at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America states it best when she says, the human body views stress as a threat to its survival. In response to this real or perceived threat, the body releases more than 1,400 chemicals internally. The effects of these chemicals circulating through your body include increased fatigue, muscle tension, compromised thinking, memory and problem solving, increased production of cortisol, a stress hormone, increased fat production around the waist, and decreased levels of circulating immune cells. With all of that going on inside our bodies, it's no wonder we don't feel well when we're overstressed. Look, eliminating all stress isn't possible. It's not even realistic. But there are very well documented and researched ways for managing stress more effectively to minimize the impact of stress on your body. We'll get to that a bit later, so make sure you stick around just a bit more. Okay, so now we've got 3 legs of the stool, and we want to know what the 4th is. Here we go. Wait for it. Sleep. Yep, that's it. Sleep. You see, your body spends most of its life in a catabolic state, or a state of breaking down and accumulation of various metabolic byproducts. All it asks for in return is enough sleep to discard the waste from your metabolic activities and to begin the process of restoring. Sleep is when your body switches into an anabolic state, or that of a healing and building. And in this fast-paced Western society, we're getting less sleep than ever before. And our lifestyle that includes artificial light, caffeine intake, and stress is really only compounding the issue. We're simply not getting enough quality sleep to give our bodies enough chance to heal. So there you have it. The 4 pillars of health are movement, eating, de-stress, and sleep. And not just any kind of movement, but full body exercises optimized for fat loss in minimal time. Not just any eating, but eating nutrient-dense whole foods that your grandma would recognize. And stress, de-stress, right? Not, again, dealing with stress in very much a mindful way. Look, you're never going to eliminate it, but handling stress can have a profound impact on your ability to heal. And lastly, sleep. Getting deeper and longer sleep so that your body can rest and repair. These are the 4 legs of the stool. And here's the great news. You don't have to perfect all 4 of them. In fact, I'd argue that making even small improvements in all 4 of these will get you far better results than mastering any one of them on its own. That's why we created the 28-day Meds Reboot, and we're pretty much giving it away for $1. That's right, the entire program for $1. Why? Well, we're glad you asked. 2 reasons, really. 1, well, we have a goal of helping 1 million people achieve permanent health and wellness. Frankly, it's a lot of people, and we don't really want money to be an issue, and we've heard that it was. So $1, that gets you the whole program. 2, we think you'll want to stay after the 28 days and be a part of an amazing community that will help hold you accountable so you can continue to make progress. Because this approach is so effective, and because we actually have certified trainers working with you while you're on the 28-day reboot, we do have to put a limit on the number of spots available for this program at the $1 price. Look, the next 28 days are going to pass whether you like it or not. The real question is, where will you be on that 28th day? Will you be closer to achieving your goal of a healthy and confident you? Or will you be right here where you started? If you're ready to take that first step to permanent health and wellness, just click the link below and reserve your spot in the program today for as little as $1. Thanks, and we'll see you on the other side.